Okay, Capricorn, this is Saturn and Aries. So Saturn went into Aries on May 24th. It will stay there until September 2nd. It'll go back into Pisces for a little while until February 15th. And then it will stay there for 2 years. Until February. Now, why do I keep wanting to say February? Because that's my birthday. Until April 12th of 2028. So it should be pretty interesting. Because Saturn, of course, is about lessons and karma and all that, and being in Aries. So some of the stuff that could come up will be working through impulses, like our impulses, the speed at which we do things, our level of confidence and motivation and willingness to take leaps of faith and start new things. Some of the things, so I'm focusing on challenges and what gifts that we could receive, or you could receive. I don't know, I have Capricorn. I hardly have any Capricorn in my chart. So, for you, seems pretty kind of, your challenge seems simple but difficult, I can see, which I think is kind of one that a lot of people deal with. It looks like there's been some sort of destruction, if this resonates with you. Some people, if you're not into spiritual awakening, is about looking at yourself. The only thing that spiritual awakening is about going within. It's about looking at yourself. It's about pointing the finger at yourself, okay? So if you're not willing to do that, then this reading may not be for you, okay? So the challenge, okay, so we have masquerade, all right? I'm going to actually read a little bit of this. So this is actually a bargain. So this actually, this book associates one of the 5 stages of grief with each card. I kind of like that. So this one's bargaining. Wait, I can't have forever. I will have for a minute. Wait, I can't have for a minute. I will hold to me for 1 second. Let's see. Under the guise of Cupid, I will come to you. Under the guise of a thief, I will fly away. There's often guilt in taking the mask of Don Juan or Donna Juana. The seducer is not a master of love, neither of manipulation. He is the master of the ephemeral, of what is fleeting and brief and transient to the extreme. He is the master of the moment, and as such he forgot all other kind of eternity. There is guilt if you care because you are not building. There is guilt out of loss because you are not treasuring. There is guilt out of indifference because when you don't care, you cheat yourself of meaning and value. Sometimes there is guilt in the selflessness and the desire itself and everything leading to pleasure, as if the only pleasure that can be sacred are only those labeled as such. The masquerade is a dance. It is a road that goes in circles and ebbs and flows, and always ends with the first light. Before the time comes, hold it tightly. When the time comes, let it go. So the main challenge is letting go of guilt due to either involving yourself with somebody who didn't value you. It looks like, because look, it looks like we have a mother and child here. So either you didn't value, like, either you had a family and didn't value them, or if you're a male, or you got involved with somebody like this, and you know, it takes 2 to tango. You know, you can put all the blame on somebody, on one person, but like I said, it takes two to get tango. You can be mad at somebody, but are you really mad at yourself because you let somebody play you, or you know what I mean? So Saturn is about karma, lessons. It's about lessons, learning lessons. This looks like there was some form of manipulation in the past. Didn't that say something about manipulation? It did. I don't really feel like this looks like a past energy with a Six of Cups. I don't think that this is, I don't know. I don't think this is now. I feel like this is something that's already ended. Let's see. Maybe it's not. Let's see. Is the storm warning coming? Give me a major arcana for yes. No, okay. Yeah, I feel like this is something that's been held on to. I feel like this is some sort of guilt that's been held on to about either a pattern or like I said, either this is something you did or this is somebody you involved yourself with. I have to say they cheated. So either you cheated or your partner cheated. So if you cheated, you've been holding on to guilt. And if your partner cheated, it's like the guilt would not be that they cheated. The guilt would be that you probably wouldn't even recognize it as guilt. It would be more like anger. And it would be at them. It would be projected towards them, but actually I think it's more towards yourself because you let somebody, it would be subconscious, okay? You probably wouldn't see it this way. And until you see it that way, you probably wouldn't be able to let it go. So, yeah, subconscious. So that would be somebody who's very, if this is you, you could be very reactive and defensive, especially if new people are coming towards you because you're still holding on to this. So this is going to be a challenge at this time. If this is that would be if you had somebody cheat on you. Now, what if you were the person, the person being read as the cheater? So the challenge would be to let go of that emotional baggage. So that's going to be the challenge, to like let go of that guilt. It's so interesting that the gift is like some sort of loyalty and protection here. I wonder how that comes about. Who are these? I wonder if like somebody takes accountability. That would be interesting if somebody actually came and took accountability. Like, and I'm not saying people are getting back together, like the person out of guilt wanted to make it like amends so that they could release the emotional burden. How would the person, how is this going to play out? This is interesting. Because I have a, this to me seems like a mother and child with the Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands. But now I have the Queen of Wands with the Star and the Judgment. Seven of Swords. It looks like someone's gonna like bring up the past, like dredge up the past. To heal it. So it looks like the Queen of Wands. And then there's the Magician again. There's a Mother. I wonder if there's other people involved or something. There is an apology. Somebody could be apologizing. If not, maybe it's somebody apologizing to themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, to let it go. Because the Judgment could be kind of an awakening. So if it's not another person. Because this is definitely a healing energy with a Star. And this is bringing up the past. So we're healing the past. And if it is not... And if it isn't, like... There could be another scenario too. I guess it could be a mother-child, like, maybe. I don't know if the mother and child are talking about, maybe that's releasing some sort of guilt. especially if, like, I don't know, I just have a lot of different scenarios going through my head. This seems like some sort of family type of guilt due to family and somebody who wasn't responsible, or family members that weren't responsible, parents. I don't know. I just don't know whose. I can't place the who's who, okay? So, but the main, I'm not going to keep going through scenarios because that'll just take forever. But the main message is the challenge is going to be releasing guilt due to some sort of scenario. That happened in a family situation. That's to me that's what I see. I don't know, because sometimes we can, like, we don't realize it's guilt, like, or it could even be shame. It might not even be guilt. Like, guilt and shame to me are kind of, it could be shame as well. It might not be all guilt. You know, if we got manipulated. It could be shame as well. I'll add that in there. Okay, so we have gifts here. That's so interesting. So the gifts that are being received is like loyalty and protection. I just want to look up this. This is the Rider. So it looks like if you have had, like, the Rider's usually like a monogamous, I'm pretty sure. I just want to look him up. It's good. The Rider is a courier, a kind man bearing news or a message. He represents swiftness, agility, eligible young man. Good things into your life. So this is someone bringing good things into your life. Okay. So this is like a very protective energy. Look, wishes coming in and loyalty. So it's like, during this transit, you'll be releasing, the challenge is releasing, like, guilt and shame, it looks like, but you'll have somebody good coming in that's, like, very protective, somebody you wish for, that's loyal, okay? Let me just see this Rider. Because it doesn't have to be a man. Be a woman. Interesting. That is very interesting. I'm going to just say this. There could be one or two instances where, let's say, Capricorn, if there was a Capricorn that maybe was in a negative energy and they go through, like, some sort of awakening, they become the positive energy. Because look, I have Capricorn right here. They become the protector. That's only going to be for a couple people, okay? But no, it looks like we have somebody who would maybe protect you from the negative. I was just trying to see the Hierophant. What is the Hierophant? Wow. So this would be somebody who is on the, it doesn't even have to be one person. If it's love, it would be somebody, the Hierophant would be somebody that matches like your beliefs or values, okay? Yeah, it would be a positive change from what you experienced in the past. This is interesting. What is this? All right, that's what I have. This should be very, I can't wait to see how it plays out over the next couple of years. Like I said, if you check out your chart, you'll probably see how it'll impact your chart. If you look up, I would have to say where there's like Aries, or I would look up Saturn to see what the degrees, if you have early degrees, like, or late degrees, that's where you'll probably be more affected. In Aries, wherever you have Aries in your chart, or if you, wherever Saturn, I mean like in whatever Saturn. All right. That's what I have. I'll see you next time.